It be St. Patty's Day, don't you know?
Clemens Homebrew coming at you with a beer review from the depths of isolation. Many of us know about that, and then many of us don't. Many of you are going to work and maybe hating it. So I'm going to bring some cheer, hopefully. I've got a fun-looking beer here. Here it is. It is Double Shot from Treehouse Brewing Company out of Charlton, Charlton, Massachusetts. Treehouse Brewing. I've had a few of their beers, and this one came out on Christmas of 2017. This is one that they say that you should enjoy around the holidays after a fun meal. We're going to go check this out. I'm going to put it down. It's a heavy bottle, to be honest with you. And maybe it's just my arms are sore because I was working in the yard and sawing thick tree branches and such. Anyway, so this beer is a coffee stout, and it's 8.6% ABV. It sounds like a fun type thing for me. They based it off of a previous beer that they had made called Percolation, which makes a lot of sense for coffee. Only this one has 30% more coffee in it. The coffee in it's from Stumptown. The primary coffee, anyway, that's what was in the original. It's a Finca El Injero coffee. It has flavors of both chocolate and cognac, they said, which sounded really interesting. And then they blend that up with Sumatra Manheling. I don't know this Manheling. It makes me think of Van Helsing. And this is nutty, earthy qualities in the Sumatra. Don't confuse that with me being nutty today. Anyway, it sounds like a fun little beer. But take a look at this. There's nothing thin about this beer. So you can see that nice deep Mocha head on there. That's pretty good as far as heads go and how deep that is. That's pretty beer. And it's nice that it has so much head on it for being 8.6%. And coffee can dampen things down with oil, so it still has a head. That says something great about it. Let's obviously just, you can't see anything. It's just dark as can be. Oh, and the heaven sings, and the whatever, all the harps are going. That is a beautiful scent. I mean, I got to go back into it, but that was good. Oh wow, where to start? Okay, okay, you definitely get there's coffee on there, and when they say shot, I'm thinking more like shot, not coffee, like it's a shot of espresso almost, kind of a nose on that, which is just, it's delicious. But there's some nice sweetness coming on it. To me it says that, and I'll have to go back and read the bottle, but to me it says there's some lactose, probably sugar possibly in this too. Because it carries a nice sweetness, so a little bit of a vanilla quality, vanilla and nuttiness. And then also the chocolate was readily apparent right up front. There's some like dark chocolate, almost a dark fudgy chocolate, but there's also a little bit of a milk chocolate kind of quality too. Oh. Yeah, I want to say it's there's a semi-sweet chocolate in it. I won't go Baker's because there's sweetness, but like a semi-sweet dark chocolate possibly as well. There's different layers of chocolate qualities to this. And I'm sure when you take into account some roasted malts, possibly some chocolate roast, I have no idea, and then you're putting in some of these coffees that are supposed to bring in like a coffee cognac type quality, you're going to get it from a number of angles. But it's just a beautiful smell. You can smell there's a little booze on there. You can tell, but it's very light, in roasted malts. It's wonderful smelling. We're going to jump on in. Cheers. So it's slightly thinner than I thought, but it's still a nice medium body. Well, it's either on the full end of medium or on the light end of full, one of the two, but it's right in the middle there. I'm working on losing weight, and I burnt a lot of calories, so that allowed me to drink this, all of it, 16.9 ounces. I'm going to enjoy this 500 milliliter bottle. It has a beautiful sweetness on it, but it's not like super sweet. I mean, we're not even talking about not cloying. We're just saying it's not super sweet. It has a nice quantity of sweetness that balances the beer out very nicely. And that's not always done with beers, you know. They can go over the top or under. Really well balanced. There's not a particularly high acidity off of the coffee. The coffee's present as it sits on my palate. At the front end, I'm getting those chocolate qualities. On the back end, I'm getting that nice earthy quality and the nuttiness, which is interesting that I'm getting those two different coffees at different points. It's not quite the same as on the nose. The nose, I was really getting all these layers of chocolate. Here I'm getting the roasted malts, and I'm definitely getting those flavors though of what would be a lactose. So I'm sure there's a lactose in this. It pulls up the added sweetness that it needs to balance out all this coffee and roast, and does a nice job of it. The chocolate's interesting because with that lactose sweetness, it makes me think more of an Easter candy, like chocolate, almost like a malt ball at points. Not quite, but it's an interesting sweetness, and which makes it an interesting chocolate, and along with this creaminess, you know. But I can almost picture one of those eggs filled with a chocolate cream type thing. Just right at the first sip, when I'm breathing it into, I get a little more onto that dark chocolate side again, and almost the fudge quality. But the majority of it is the sweetness, and makes me think. So when I think of these chocolate malt balls, the outside has the sweetness, and then you get to the malt balls, and it's just kind of a, not artificial, but almost a candy sweetness, just a slight bit on that front end. But it's super smooth. I am just getting no tannins, no acidity, nothing like that going on at all. I'm just not getting a bite. Now granted, this has got some age. This is Christmas 2017, and this is what it says on the bottle, and this is currently mid-April of 2020. You know, that the year we all wished we could have skipped in history. There is like a hint of tobacco, you know, on this too. Nice beer. I'll be back in a few. As it's warming, the mouthfeel is thickening up. But this is one of the better coffee beers I've had. And we have Stumptown Brewing. I believe the Stumptown they talk about in here is out of Portland, Oregon. Stumptown, that's right. So they're getting their coffee from here for this beer in Massachusetts. So they're just got to know that this wasn't purely a Massachusetts beer. So in terms of a coffee stout, this has got to be one of the better coffee stouts I have honestly ever had. There was just this little offness on the sweetness, that off candy type taste that somehow the lactose, which I'm sure is in it, was providing on sweetness on this beer that just throws it off of the natural flavoring a little bit. I'm giving it a 98 in terms of coffee stouts. It's just with no acidity, no bitter bite, none of that stuff, no tannins, no blah, blah, blah. None of it's there. It just is easy to drink. That's a plus. That makes it a big win. I had to take a little time to think about overall, because overall, to me, is the really critical one. But honestly, I mean, this is well crafted. I'm going to go 95 overall. Just a well-crafted beer. Here it is again. This is double shot. It's a 500 milliliter bottle. You're not going to find this unless you can trade. Good luck with that. I hope you can. It's double shot. It's the Christmas 2017 version. Treehouse Brewing Company out of Charlton, Massachusetts. This is Kevin at Clement's Homebrew signing off, saying life's too short to drink cheap beer, and I'll see you on the next beer review.